Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Grounded, grabbing the Flavorful achievement. This is to find 10 of the SCA.B color schemes, a form of collectible in this game. At the current build of the game, there are going to be a total of 23. For this guide, I'm going to be showing you 10 that don't require any building, so you aren't going to have to farm any stems in order to build any scaffolding to build your way up. But keep in mind, there are going to be way more than enough to cover the achievement. So that being said, we're going to start at the top of the map and then work our way down, heading towards the left. So first one is going to be in the middle of the North Pond. It's going to be that little piece of land that's jutting out on the map, which is actually one of the roots to the oak tree. It's going to be right here on this one. It's pretty obvious. Make sure you hop on it from the water and then grab it. The collectibles are going to look like these glowing wristwatches. Number two, make sure you move down the coast to the left, and then you want to make sure you look for this soda can. It's going to be a landmark, hard to miss. Once inside, make sure you swim forward, and then at the back of the can is going to be the next collectible. Make sure you grab that, and that should be 2 of 10. Moving on, we're going to continue over here. This is going to be the border between the original map and the front porch area. Facing the western pond as a reference, you want to make sure you turn around and head towards the porch. You can kind of see the beehive in the background. Drop down here, there's going to be a triangle of rocks right here, and then on this stem is going to be your collectible. Then moving on all the way down here, this one is going to be at the base of one of the tripods. Make sure you look for the broken wire. There should be some mites chewing on it. Make sure you follow the wire along into this cave. There are going to be a ton of mites in here, so try your best not to get swarmed. Bring some weapons and make sure you deal with them. But keep heading down the cave. You are going to need a hammer for this because you are going to have to break some rocks. So make sure you bring one with you. Also recommend bringing a torch so you can light the way. But there should be this piece of quartzite right here that you need the hammer to break. Make sure you break that. Pick up the quartzite. Very useful material in order to fix your weapons. But there should be some more quartzite behind that. Make sure you use the hammer to break that, and then you should reveal this back part of the cave. Keep pressing forward. There are more rocks along the way, so you can keep farming quartzite if you really must. But towards the back of the cave, you want to make sure you look slightly to your right, and the collectible is going to be right over here. Then after grabbing that, we are going to move on to right here. This is the bottom left of the original map. You are going to find this cassette tape that is going to take you to the back porch area. Look behind it, and then underneath it is going to be your next collectible right over here. So make sure you grab that, and then we can move on to the next one. This one is going to be located on the rock that is next to the rake. I recommend taking the rock side up simply because you don't have to deal with the bombardier beetles if you're quick enough. So just climb the hill and then just make sure you zip around and then quickly grab the collectible and leave before the bombardier beetles will mow you down. Be careful of the haze as well. Just make sure you creep around and then quickly pull the collectible. It should be at the apex of the rock right here. So grab that and then quickly get out of dodge before the bombardiers can give you any trouble. Following this border right here, you are going to get to this paint bucket at the bottom of the map. Make sure you go to the handle side, and then you want to make sure you go into the inside of the handle, and then you want to make sure you look next to this puddle of paint right here, and you should find your next collectible right over here in this gap. Moving on, this is going to be this rock to the right of the branch. This is going to be one of the action figure landmarks. Make sure you look underneath it. There should be a cave right here. Be very careful. Occasionally there might be a wolf spider in here, so make sure you try to be a little cognizant of any danger. But it is a small cave, and the collectible is right here towards the back wall. Moving down towards the bottom right of the map, you're going to have this area with a bunch of mushrooms. This is the bench. Again, be careful of the wolf spider hanging around here, but look for the area with the ton of mushrooms. Great source of food if you need it. Make your way to the back right of this partition of the bench, and you should find the collectible among the mushrooms. So just make sure you grab that, and then we can move on. This is going to be the last one, at least for this video, which is going to cover 10. Again, there are going to be 23, so there is more than enough to cover the achievement. So this one's going to be at the berry bush. Make sure you look for the ramp that takes you up to the field station. Just look for the giant paper clip. Once you are up here, I recommend setting up shop at the field station. It's a little easy to get get lost once you are in the berry bush, so I'm going to try my best to lead you along until you get to the collectible. Make sure you take a right from the field station and then take this branch up here. Once you get to the fork, make sure you take the right fork. You want to be heading in the direction of the juice box, which is going to be how you get further into the bush. So just follow the path, and then your goal is to aim for that stack of mushrooms right there. So once you get back to the main branch, make sure you hang a right, and then just keep heading towards the mushrooms and towards the juice box. So just take this. You might need a little jump in order to get up here. Once you see the mushrooms, make sure you staircase up. Be a little careful of the spiderlings. They can knock you off if you aren't too careful. So just make sure you take them out. Once you are at the juice box, you can grab some juice right here on this leaf. Great source of food and drink. Once you grab that, you should see the first zip line right here. Make sure you take this across to get further into the berry bush. Once you clear the zip line, you are going to be further into the bush. Make sure you take the left path from there. Be very careful of spiderlings. They can knock you off, and a fall from this high will obviously kill you. So you want to make sure you be careful of that at all costs. So just navigate your way here. Be very careful of this turn. The branch gets a little thin, so try not to be too shaky. Once you get back onto the thick branch, make sure you hang a right and then follow this path with the egg sacs and the little moss right here. You can grab some berries along the way by knocking them down. You will need them later for other achievements involving crafting, so keep that in mind. So make sure you take a big jump right here. You want to get onto this little branch, and then you want to transition over to the first lab area right here. You can find some pretty neat stuff inside, mostly applied science, which is going to be this game's form of currency, so grab that if you really want to. But from the first lab, you want to make sure you follow the big branch, and then once you get to this dead end right here, you want to make sure you turn slightly towards your left. You should notice a way to get down. So just make sure you drop down. You should notice some mushrooms right here and a little slide. Make sure you slide down. You can either take the branch or you take the big slide right here. Again, be very careful not to fall off though, and you should encounter the second zip line. Make sure you zip across. This one doesn't have too good of an incline, so be a little careful with nudging forward. But once you make the crossing, make sure you hang a right, and you want to follow this branch until you get to this landmark, which is going to be the flying disc. Be very careful. There are a ton of spiderlings on here, but the next collectible is going to be on the disc. It's going to be right here in the middle part. So drop down and quickly grab it. Be mindful of the spiders, obviously. Once you have 10, you should be good for the achievement. Again, if you don't have enough yet, you can grab more. But there it is. 50 gamer score for this one. And that's all there is to it.